What's up everybody, and welcome back. We're still on the road to 2K, so if you're new and enjoy, consider subscribing, especially because I found a very interesting manga with another sentence for a name. Today I'm recommending, since I was reincarnated into the strongest side character who dies early on, I'll use my game knowledge to become Unrivaled. These manga names are just getting more and more out of hand, but this is being made by Arata Jin in My D. It's 6 chapters so far, and it's a reincarnation action adventure isekai fantasy about a guy who was reincarnated into a fantasy world, and it's literally what the title of the manga says. A nameless guy died trying to save a lady from Truckun, only to be the true target, and he's instantly reincarnated into the game Echoes of Eternity as the side character Silva Pierce. Silva is the captain of Eternia's 3rd Special Force unit and the strongest knight in the kingdom, starting at level 60 while everyone else starts at level 10. So right off the bat, he seems OP, because he is. But the problem is the character Silva is meant to die at the end of chapter 1 of this fantasy RPG. And if you've played an RPG, you've come across this character before, because this character is really meant to be an introductory guide slash mentor character whose sacrifice sets the player character on their journey. That's obviously a problem for the guy who just died and reincarnated as the guy who's meant to die, and whose stats barely increase past what they are, on top of not being able to change classes because he's slated for death. And knowing all this, because when he was alive he played and beat the game multiple times, Silva decides he doesn't want to die again and is going to find a way around the character's death, and he only has 1 month to do it. That's what the first arc is about. The story hasn't finished it, so what happens after he doesn't die is anyone's guess, but this is where a lot of the fun I'm having with this manga comes into play, because I love RPGs. And if you've played an RPG several times, you know exactly how to exploit and break it. And that's exactly what he does. Not in a cheat or glitch kind of way, in a game knowledge way. So he starts off by having the vice captain, Natalia Norfolk, change class from knight to dancer. He equips the game protagonist, Kyle Transient, with Silva's weapon, and promotes the supporting heroine of the game, Mia Hawkeye, to captain, so that he can resign his position and focus on not dying. And you may ask, why do all that instead of just not showing up to the encounter where his character dies? And it's because if he doesn't show up, the hero and protagonist Kyle and the sage and female protagonist Rhea Eternia will die in the encounter, and if they die, the world ends, because they're the reincarnated heroes, so he has to show up to either sacrifice himself or win the encounter and survive. So by resigning, he can focus on finding a way to survive, so he and the world can survive. And this is what I really like about it, because all the classic RPG elements start showing up as soon as he leaves the unit. Because instead of following the story route, which in an RPG is typically your first playthrough, he goes for the exploits route. After leaving, he immediately goes to the side town in RPGs that usually has minor side quests, but you go there because it has something like an arena or casino, which is what this side town has, so that he can complete the side quest, exploit the casino, and trigger the DLC to recruit strong companions, something he wouldn't be able to do if he was another character because of character level. Which again, if you've played RPGs, all of this makes sense, because we've all probably been there before. So as an avid RPG fan, I love this, because it's 100% realistic to what a player does when they already know the game. Where to go to get the best gear, how to get rich quick, and how to get the best companions early on. It's clear that the author has played their fair share of RPGs, because these are all exploits we've done before, and I love that, especially because they're not necessarily game breaking. He's using built-in game mechanics and knowledge to set himself up to be in the best position he can be. And I've read a few game reincarnation manga, and they usually focus on cheats or glitches to break the game and become OP, but in this, he's just using the game's own mechanics, and it's fantastic, because I've done this so many times in so many different RPGs. When I'm on playthrough number 2, 3, 5, I'm not playing based on the main route. route. I'm cheesing the game now. So why start out with the level 5 companion on your second playthrough when, like in this, you know how to get 2 level 40 DLC companions in Mitsuki and Akatsuki, especially when your back is against the wall, and if you don't, you'll die. Now obviously I don't know what will happen past the death encounter when he survives it, and neither will he, which is another aspect I love, because the whole game will change. The mechanics will be the same, items will probably be in the same spot, but I'm expecting, like in others, that events change, so this will also change from a reincarnation into a video game to more of a fantasy action adventure story with video game elements. And with how the story has been so far, I'm here for it. The characters so far have been good. Silva, or the guy who is now Silva, has been good. He's confident, reassured, and smart, all things you usually don't get in manga MCs, so it's nice to have it here. He has a companion named Roma that he saved and picked up and hired just so that she could do his busy work for him, and she's clearly the comedic element. As far as the other 2 companions he has in Mitsuki and Akatsuki, we don't know much about them, seeing as they've only been in 1 or 2 chapters so far, and Mitsuki is brainwashed, while Akatsuki is tomboyish. That's about all we got on them. Regardless, the cast is pretty good so far, but I'm expecting more actual character development as it progresses. And that's the biggest hope right now, progression, because chapters 1 through 5 came out 2 months ago, and chapter 6 came out 8 days ago as of recording this, so I have no read on what the release schedule of this is, but hopefully it's much more consistent and sooner than once a month. So if this seems interesting to you, or if you're a fan of RPGs, check it out. You might enjoy it, and if you enjoyed this video, leave a like and consider subscribing, as we're trying to hit 2K as soon as possible, honestly. Either way, if you want more, the playlist is linked below. Other than that, I'll see all of you in the next one.